Okay guys, so basically here's a video that I was planning on making for a while, and the events of today have kind of solidified my wanting to make this video, I guess you could say, because there are a few things that I would like to talk about that I think need to be said. And originally this video was just going to be about bad fans versus good fans as far as All Time Low are involved. I don't really see how somebody could be considered a good fan or how somebody could be considered a bad fan. I don't see that at all. As long as you like the music, that's all that matters, right? That's how it should be. It's not about how long you've liked the band. It's not about like how many songs you know. It's not about how much merchandise you own. It's not about any of that at all. It's about how much you like the band. It's about just you liking them. It's about what they've done for you. That's what being a fan is about. There's no way you can say somebody's a good fan or somebody's a bad fan because they haven't seen them live or because they haven't listen to all their songs. And this goes for any band, not just All Time Low. This goes for any band out there. And the only way I see that you can be a bad fan is if you're the fan that you're gonna let somebody take you down because, well, I don't really know how to phrase it, but so I'm just gonna tell you what happened. There's this girl that I used to be friends with in high school, junior year. I was friends with her, and she liked All Time Low, and she's one of the first people that I heard of them from. And, me and her stopped being friends sometime at the end of junior year, around senior year. Her whole group of friends completely stabbed me in the back, and I wasn't friends with any of them anymore. And she said that I ruined All Time Low for her because I started liking them. And one of her other friends, who I also used to be really good friends with, she would, I would post something about All Time Low on Facebook, and she would IM me on Facebook being like, since when did you like All Time Low so much? You never used to like them that much, da 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 da. And I'm like, I don't have to prove how long I've liked them to you. It doesn't matter to you how long I've liked them, and it has nothing to do with you, and, I don't see how that has any relevance to you whatsoever. Just because you liked them first, and now I like them, and you don't like me anymore, so I ruined them for you. That is how I think you can be a bad fan, if you let somebody ruin a band for you. If somebody can ruin a band for you, so to speak, you must not have been that great of a fan of them in the first place. Nobody can ruin All Time Low for me. Nobody can ruin My Chemical Romance for me. It doesn't matter to me if other people start liking them. And basically them saying that was them being elitists, and because they didn't like me and I liked the band that they liked first, they don't like them anymore because I started liking them and they don't like me. So there's that. And the other thing I wanted to cover in this video is the fact that, to put it short, words hurt. If any of you following me saw everything that happened today in my Ask, then you know what I'm talking about with that. But, I'm not just talking about that situation in particular. I'm talking about in general. Words really hurt. And on the internet especially, you need to be really careful what you say to people, because it can come back to haunt you. And I have another instance to talk about with that, and it involves actually those same girls. I'm not friends with either of them on Facebook anymore. I was friends with one of them for a while because we were still kind of friends. And one day I saw that me and one of them had a mutual friend, and so I was looking through the girl's Facebook wall because she didn't have any of her stuff private, which, by the way, is a big mistake. If you're gonna trash talk people, keep it private at least. I'm not saying you should go out and trash talk people, but if you are, why would you put it public on your Facebook wall where anybody can see it? But anyway, that's besides the point. So I was looking at this girl's Facebook wall, the one I used to be friends with, and there was a thread between her and the other girl. And they were, the second girl, she said, "Oh, did you see so-and-so," talking about me, she deleted me off my friends, and they called me crazy with a K, because my name starts with a K, because that's so original. And, they started, I read the whole thread, and they were, talking about, "Did you see her pictures?" And this was right around after I saw All Time Low. They were like, "Did you see her pictures?" And they were like, "Oh, yeah, I saw her pictures. She's so gorgeous." And then they were, talking about how yellow my teeth were, and how, oh, geez, that's really not attractive, and da-da-da-da-da, and she needs to get some overnight teeth cleaning stuff. And then they were like, "Oh, yeah, well, she's so creepy," and then they started, hating on the fact that I saw All Time Low and that I met them. They were like, "Oh, she would get pictures with them," and da-da-da-da. And then they were like, "Oh, well, all you need to do is be like, yeah, well, you saw All Time Low, I saw Fall Out Boy," and she would get so mad and, say something, thinking that I would get pissed if they said something about how she saw Fall Out Boy. Here's the thing, I know she saw Fall Out Boy. I don't really give a fuck. Okay, I'm glad you saw Fall Out Boy, kudos to you. And then they were like, "Oh yeah," she would be like, "Well, I saw All Time Low," and you would get to be like, "Oh yeah, well, I did too." I know she was at the same show that I was at, I really don't care. And then, they were like, "Oh yeah, she's so weird, she's so crazy," they called me psychotic at one point, and, they were like, "Oh yeah, and her whole thing with My Chemical Romance, and her MCR plushies, and her Gerard Way picture that she keeps under her pillow," okay, because I definitely have MCR plushies, and I definitely keep a picture of Gerard Way under my pillow. For sure. Yeah, I definitely don't, because I'm not creepy like that. But they were saying all this stuff, and then they started saying how they were going to, they should teach me a lesson, and I should get a beat down, and how they were going to kidnap me, and blindfold me, and put me in a van, and play All Time Low, and I was going to think that All Time Low were kidnapping me, and I was going to be so happy, but little did I know, they were going to drop me off in an alley, and beat the shit out of me, and leave me there. And, they were, saying all this, and it was all there public on her Facebook wall, and I'm sitting here reading it, and I'm like, really? You're really gonna fucking say that in public? Where anybody can see it? And so, I did, I blocked them both, I reported them both, but it still hurt, that's gonna hurt. And the thing that hurt the most is that they called me psychotic. Here's the thing. You don't use that word lightly. I made a post about this the night that all happened. You don't use the word psychotic lightly. Because it holds a lot of negative meaning. And, I don't think either of them knew this, but I'm bipolar. And to be called psychotic really fucking hurts. Doesn't feel good at all, because here you're thinking that you're doing a good job appearing to be normal when you're really not, and then somebody calls you psychotic, and it feels like, well, what did I do for them to call me that? I must be crazy, I must be acting weird, it just really stirs up a lot of negative feelings in you. And then today, being called ugly, being called a whore, being called stupid, I know I'm not ugly. I'm definitely not a whore. I've been with my boyfriend for 6 months this Monday. I'm not stupid. I graduated high school. I'm going to college. I have over a 3.0. I know I'm not stupid. I know I'm not ugly. I know I'm not a whore. But being called that anyway, that hurts. Whether or not you apologize for it, whether or not you meant it, no matter what the reason is that you said it, you still said it, and it still hurts. And you can't take that back. You can't, you don't say those things, because you don't know if somebody's hurting. You don't know what they're going through at the time that you say that, and then you say it, and you don't know. You could set somebody off the edge by saying it. So, the moral of the story, so to speak, is don't say anything that you wouldn't be prepared to, own up for. If you wouldn't go tell your mom, "Oh yeah, I was talking about this girl on Facebook today, and I threatened to beat her up and kidnap her and leave her to die." If you wouldn't say that to your mom, then don't say it online. If you wouldn't tell your mom, today I called this girl stupid and ugly and a whore, then don't say it at all. Like, if you don't want to own up to that, if you don't want to reap the consequences from that, then don't say it. Here's a little tidbit of information for you. Cyber harassing and cyber bullying in the state that I live in is a, I think it's a class 1 misdemeanor. I think that's what it's called. I'd have to look to be sure, but it's, I'm pretty sure it's a class 1 misdemeanor. You wanna know what that gets you in the state that I live in? That gets you a year in jail. So those girls, if they had said something else to me and I had reported them, because I did report them, but if they had said something else to me, they could have gone to jail for a year. And the chick that said those things to me today in my ask, and if she sees this, she knows who she is. If she lived in my state, or if I wanted to take her to court for what she said, she could possibly end up with jail time as well. So you don't say things like that on the internet, because they will come back to haunt you. And, yeah, for anybody that's ever had any kind of cyber harassment or cyberbullying, or even in real life any harassment or bullying, I'm sorry, and I really hope it gets better for you, because nobody deserves that, and I've dealt with it myself, as you now know, and nobody ever deserves it. It's not something I'd wish on anybody. It hurts a lot when it's going on, it hurts a lot afterwards, and it doesn't really go away easily. Like, it hurts for a while. So, I'm here for anybody that ever wants to talk. My ask box is always open, and yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. So, thanks for watching. Bye.